God bless you all today, brothers. We're looking at the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2. We see Anna's prayer. We see Eli's family and his wicked sons. And we see it speak about Samuel. And you know, brothers, something that I just want to look at here, especially in Anna's prayer at the end, it says, he will give power to his king and he will lift up the horn of his anointed one. See prophecy there being prophesied through her prayer. But what I really want to look at is Eli's two sons. I think they're called Ophni and Phinehas, if I'm right. They were priests. Eli was a priest. But they had no regard for the Lord, for the priest, for the sacrifices, or for the people. And whenever, you know, someone would come and offer a sacrifice, Eli's sons, they would come with a fork, and while the meat was still boiling, they would plunge it into the pot. And the priest would claim for himself whatever the meat brought up. This is the way that they treated the people of Israel. And they did this even before the fat was burned. You know, the priest, the servant, would come and say to him, you know, give the priest some of the meat to roast. The fat must be burned first. Then you can take what you want for yourself. The reason why the fat was to be burned first, and the fat was so thin, because it was precious, it was luxurious, it was considered the most best part of what was in that pot. So, and as they said there, the fat must be burned first, then you can take whatever you want for yourselves. God was to have the first portion. God was to have the fat. Why? Because God deserves the best. Why does God have to have the first portion? Because God should be first within our lives. And you know, we see these men, they was wicked. They wasn't putting God first. They wasn't giving God their best, but they was wicked. And we see later on in this book that they will be killed for it. But how can we apply this today, brothers? Just very short this morning. How can we apply this to our lives today? What can we take from this? How can we apply this story to us today? Is to remember this, brothers, that God deserves the best. He deserves my best, he deserves your best, and God deserves to be first. Just like God deserved the fat of the animal, and he deserved the first portion to be first, the same way in our lives today, that God should be first. And God deserves our best. And I would encourage us today to always put God first, and give God our best, and serve God to the best of our ability. Don't be like these people. Don't be someone who's giving, you know, the scraps to God, the slops to God. Don't be someone who's diving in first, you know, and not giving no regard for the things of God or thinking for the people of God. But put God first. Give God your best. And you know, when you do that, brothers, you know, your brothers and sisters in the Lord, you will also have time for them. You will have time for them. You will push your needs aside and you will put theirs first. You value others' needs above your own because you're giving God your best. You're putting him first. These men was only thinking of themselves. They weren't humble. They were prideful men, just thinking of how they could please themselves and what they could get. They wanted the best. God deserves our best, brothers. God deserves. If anyone deserves our best today, if anyone deserves to be put first, then it is the Lord Jesus Christ today. God bless you all today.